Yo and hello everybody. Happy Monday. It is cold here in Texas. We're supposed to have like an ice storm, and so I am so glad that this package got here today, because God knows when it might have gotten here otherwise, given the weather that's coming over the next few days. And I just wanted to shoot this. This is a 30 card PSA vintage order. These are cards that I bought from a gentleman named Glenn, who was on a Chasing Cardboard episode. These are all cards that I need for various player runs, 4 decade set. 300 great cards is in here even. I mean, there is all kinds of stuff that fits my PC. And I am so glad that all the cards actually graded, which is always step number one. And so, yeah, we'll look through them. I've already peeked at the grades. I don't know how anybody doesn't peek at their grades. Like, I can't do it. I got to know as soon as I can possibly know. I want to know how I did. These are all very mid to low grade cards. So there's no Gem Mint 10s in here. This is an order that I sent off all the way back in September 15th. It was received at PSA. They logged it on September 20th, and I received it back today, January 30th. So 4.5 months seems like a long time, given how they have kind of sped things up. But yeah, there's the 2 boxes of cards. I will start with this one over here. This is fewer cards. I don't know which ones are in which box, or what order they're in. So let's just start like this. Now, some of these cards are actually going to be for sale. So I will let you know those as I pull them up, and you can tell me in the notes or get a hold of me or something if it's something you're interested in, because I know like this first one I think is one of those. Yeah, so this is a 1962 Topps Earl Batley Roberto Clemente Topps stamp. It's the full stamp, the full panel. You can see it says stamp panels, and this is a PSA 5. So that is super cool. They actually framed it correctly. Amazing PSA. You did something right. Okay, so that is a card that is, or it's not even a card really, it's a stamp. So if you're a Clemente guy, there you go. That's something you want. Next up, this is mine. 1961 Topps AL batting leaders. This picture is Minnie Minoso, new Hall of Famer. These cards are cold because of the weather. It's hilarious. So that's a 4 decade card. Another league leader, 61 Topps, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale. Also a PSA 5. I feel like the guy who graded, or girl, I guess it could be, whoever graded these cards was not nice. Okay, this is 61 Jim Cott in an excellent mint 6. You're going to see a lot of Cott and Minoso because those are newer Hall of Famers, and there's just the pops on them aren't that big, so I'm like, I'll just send them off myself. But that's an adequate grade for me for sure for a 60s card. This is awesome. 61 Topps Frank Robinson All-Star, PSA 5 on that. 62 Topps NL win leaders with Warren Spahn in a 6. 62 Topps Jim Cott in a 6. 63 Cott in a 4. Like when I sent these off, like, I don't know if, guys, this is way nice for a 4. Like, I knew when I saw the grades, I was very perplexed on some of these. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. 63 Minoso. Now that is a 4. I mean, you can see that corner down there. Like, I can get that, but that's still a great card. Like, nothing wrong with that. 67 Cott. This got a 4. And again, I couldn't tell you why. It felt like a 5. I mean, who cares, I guess. Yeah, that corner is pretty banged up down there. It's fine. Nicely centered. Look at that. Like, great. I'll take it. No complaints. This one was weird. This is 75 tops. Tony Oliva, which I needed in a 4. I mean, again, these corners are all not perfect, but look, it's good. That's good. Okay, that's box 1. Pull out all the cards for box 2. Get these like this. Throw them right there. Okay. First up, oh yeah, 48 Bowman Phil Rizzuto. I don't know if you guys saw the video where I showed a bunch of these that I was going to send off, but that's awesome. 2.5. Very nice looking card. Like, I will take it. 51 tops, Duke Snider. Definitely one of those years of cards that I just need to pick more up. I actually am shocked this is a 3 because there's actually a tear in the card here and it's off center. Like, that's feels overgraded to me. This is accurately graded. 2.5 on the Casey Stengel. I knew this was pretty beat up. 52 Bowman, but again, I have the card raw. I want it graded. Send it off. 55 Bowman, Mini Minoso. It's probably pretty accurately graded. You can see over on the left border that going into the next card, kind of miscut, but still, I mean, overall, pretty nice centering. No complaints. Lots of Gil Hodges coming up. Here's a 55 Bowman. It's a 2. This was really beat up, but I liked the centering of it. Like, the corners are roached, but the centering is really good on that card. So 55, yeah. 55 Hodges. Yeah, that's accurately. This one was also pretty roached. Yeah, the corners, but again, decent centering, and just I needed a Hodges card for my 55. There were several 55s, and I just needed to get them all done. Here's the Phil Rizzuto in a 3.5. Love that pick. Look at the scooter there, jumping up. 56 coming up. Minoso, 3.5. These were very common types of conditions that Glenn's cards were in when we got them. Other than the later, like the earlier stuff, like stuff in the 50s was all like this. And then 60, 61s were in better shape because he was older and taking better care of them. 57 Minoso, 2.5. There's gotta be a crease or something on that. I don't see it, but oh well. 2.5 on that. Another 57 Gil Hodges, a 2. Yeah, there's actually a surface crease that goes all the way across that card. So that makes sense. But presents well, like, looks good. Arm's length rule, man. Hold a card at arm's length and how does it look, and if you can deal with it. Okay, here's 2 I'm really excited about. These, I didn't even care the grade. I just wanted them slabbed. I never owned these cards. The Hires Root Beer, no tab. The tab would be like super long if it was on here. In fact, I think I have, right, I do have right here. So here's the tab. So that would go attached to the cards. You can imagine how big the slab would be if it was, they're huge when they have the tab on them, but these just came with the card and the tab. The tab was behind it. They were already detached, so that's okay. I actually like the way it looks as just a card even better, honestly. I love the knothole look, just so cool. So there's the maze of that. And then he also had the Hank Aaron, which I bought. This is a 3 miscut. Interesting that they would call that miscut. That's not really miscut. That's actually just the, see how there's lines? That's just the next line. But they consider that miscut. I don't know. Oh, and he's card number 44. I wonder if Mays is number 24. No, 25. So, Hires Root Beer, these are so cool. I don't even care that it's labeled miscut. I just love it. 58 Topps Hank Aaron. This card was in really rough shape. I mean, you can even see on the back, there's, you know, staining everywhere. Like, look at that. But it was a 58 Aaron white name, and I had the yellow name, which is the hard one. He had this card, and I was able to buy it cheap. So, yep. Now I have a 58 Aaron white name to go with the yellow name. 58 Minoso. 1.5. Yikes. What is wrong? Oh. Wow. So, let me see if I can get it to, right in there, it's almost like little indentions in the card. Like this whole area has these indentions, but again, if you have to angle the card at a certain angle with the right light and all that to make it show up in the imperfections, then that's not the end of the world. This Braves Fence Busters. So this one is a card I actually already bought again. I bought a higher grade, I think. So I think this one will be for sale. Aaron, Matthews, Crandall, and Adcock. So if you're a Braves guy and you're looking for this card and you don't care that it's a 2.5, then let me know. So there's that one. This one's 58 Gil Hodges. Look how nicely centered that is. I mean, again, relatively nice. Like, it's not perfect, or else it'd be a higher grade, but that's not bad. PSA 4. Pretty miscut on the back, actually. This is a huge card for me. This is definitely one of those that I've been looking for years and years and years and years. And Glenn happened to have the whole set, including this card. And it is the 1959 Ted Williams, card number 68. This card is a short print. Ted signs for 1959. It is rare because Bucky Harris, who is pictured there, did not sign the licensing agreement with Fleer and demanded to be taken off the card. So early in production, these were removed. And yeah, so you have this very cool card. This is a 300 Great Cards of the 20th Century by Mike Payne card. And so glad to finally own it. Not a cheap card, look it up, in any grade. But a 4 is, I don't know, $500 card-ish, $600 card. So I have that. This is Mantle, I believe. Yeah. 1961 post-serial Mickey Mantle. The perforated one. This came back at 5, which is just fine with me. I didn't have any post-serial Mantles in my collection, and being that Mantle is the GOAT of the hobby of all time, wanted to add that sucker, and I'm glad I was able to pick it up. And last but not least, you go from Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle to a nice 1961 Topps Gil Hodges. Again, just cards that fill holes in my collection. That is what I'm going for. I still have, I think, 3 or 4 submissions at PSA, and then I have 4 submissions at PSA DNA currently. So I've got tons of stuff out there, and God only knows when I'll get it back. So I am glad to have these back. 30 cards. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. We'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting.